I'm Amy Cherry. 4 people are arrested after a Palm Coast home was raided Sunday. John Arking reports.
Sheriff Rick Staley says it all came about after deputies tracked a Chevy Silverado to a home on Fort Caroline Lane known to investigators for recent drug activity. After placing the residents under observation, a 2002 Infiniti that had run from a traffic stop the previous day and had been reported stolen pulled into the driveway. Sheriff Staley says that's when deputies moved in.
Recovered a stolen gun out of the house from a burglary in the R section, along with drugs and paraphernalia, and made 4 arrests. So it was a great job by our patrol people and by our detectives working to clean up a neighborhood.
Kevin Williams Jr. and Angelo Walsh, both age 35, along with 23-year-old Matthew Brown and 55-year-old Jessica Cobro, were arrested and charged with various drug counts. Williams and Walsh, both convicted felons, were also charged with 2 counts each of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and grand theft of a firearm. John Arking, Flagler's Morning News.
This portion of WNZF Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Fly to the Big Apple in a New York minute on JetBlue from the Daytona Beach International Airport.
A man learns the hard way that you can run, but you can't hide from the Flagler County Sheriff's K-9 team. Rich Petchke has the story.
According to Sheriff Rick Staley, a suspect identified as Matthew Nesbitt, who was a known felon, fled from police in Bunnell in a stolen car. He then abandoned it in Palm Coast near the Z section. Officers chased Nesbitt through the woods, and Sheriff Staley tells us how they finally apprehended him.
When we sent our K-9 in the first time, he jumped up from some underbrush and threatened our deputies and the K-9 with a knife and took off running. We found him again with our use of our K-9, and this time the K-9 took a bite out of crime, and he was apprehended.
Medics treated Nesbitt for his injuries before being taken into custody. Flagler County schools were notified and bus drop-offs were temporarily delayed in the area until Nesbitt was in custody. I'm Rich Petchke.
Debris pickup from Hurricane Irma in Palm Coast is almost finished.
So far, about 25,000 cubic yards have been picked up.
A second pass that will be the final phase starts tomorrow. Tom Hansen is with the city.
Residents should ensure any storm debris, including construction and demolition debris, is placed at the curb as soon as possible, and no later than 7 a.m. Wednesday.
A reminder, debris should be placed on your property near the curb and not on the street. A Palm Coast couple is aiming to set the Guinness World Record for flag waving. Nikki and Larry White spent their Sunday handing out flags at the Freedom Fest at the Flagler Executive Airport.
Everybody who came and took a flag will take it home and put it in their yard. And our original plan was to make Flagler County the most patriotic county in the United States. So now if they put it in their yard, we're closer to having every house and every business flying an American flag.
The duo co-founded the American Flag Project.
We could not ask for better partners than the radio station, and all the vets were really terrific too. One of our reach outs was to the local vets. We probably had 100 guys come by at this event.
They say through their efforts they've handed out 20,000 flags to people over 2 years to promote patriotism. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.